It's time now for Money Matters, where we talk about some of the biggest stories impacting your wallet this week. I'm Jonathan Martin. First, a warning about staying vigilant when it comes to your finances. A Gwinnett County father says just days before Christmas, someone stole tens of thousands of dollars from him using gift cards. The Better Business Bureau reports hundreds of millions of dollars are stolen using gift cards every year. 11 Alive's Erica Murphy spoke with the man's family.
Diane Durham and her sister were alerted that there was a problem when their dad reached out to ask them for money. Neither of them were prepared for the answer.
He said that he owed people money and he had to get it to them by 5 o'clock that day.
Durham says her dad described someone reaching out via email saying he needed to pay to renew a subscription and later that he was overcredited and needed to make it right by buying gift cards and providing the numbers. For 9 days, the 77-year-old withdrew money from his bank accounts to buy a total of $62,000 worth of gift cards and handed over those card numbers. His family says it wiped out his life savings. Now Durham and her family are hoping the situation can serve as a cautionary tale to others.
It's difficult, but I think as adult children, you need to start working with your parents on what can we help you with, what would make your life easier.
Ladisa Onelagu is the director of senior services for Fulton County. She says regular check-ins with aging parents is key to avoiding becoming a victim.
Caregivers need to start developing a new custom with providing some standard reminders to their loved ones.
In the meantime, Durham has filed a police report with Gwinnett County Police and is working to recoup some of the nest egg her parents lost.
My father's experienced a lot of shame and embarrassment. My mom is clearly depressed. They don't totally understand, I think, what has happened.
Right now, a new law is helping student loan borrowers save money for the future. A new retirement law allows student loan payments to boost 401ks for some workers. Employers are also able to match their employees' qualifying loan payments with a contribution into the employee's retirement account. Now, something else to note here, the Department of Education just rolled out the new FAFSA form. The updated form is shorter and easier to fill out for future borrowers. Right now, the U.S. Department of Education has a warning about falling behind on student loan payments. It says 40% of borrowers missed their first payment when the pause ended in October. According to one education nonprofit, Georgia borrowers owe more than $68 billion in student loans. So what should you do if you need to get back on track? 11 Alive's Karis Belger has the answer.
Like millions of other loan borrowers, Dr. Tawana Gilliard knows what it's like to be overwhelmed by student loan debt.
I was a resident, not making that much. And so I did this thing of avoiding it and saying, well, they'll wait until I become a real doctor, making real money, and I'll start paying it back.
But she quickly found that wasn't the case. And years later, she's tackled $400,000 in federal and private loans. But she says she understands how changes in payment plans can plague borrowers now.
And so you go off to school and you think, oh, I'll get this great job and I'll be able to afford to pay this debt off.
It's a challenge facing millions of Americans. The U.S. Department of Education recently reported 40% of federal student loan borrowers have not made payments since payments resumed in October of this year. Financial expert Bradley Rosen says there are easy steps to make for people to get back on track.
Go to studentaid.gov. This is that resource that the federal government is supplying us with where you can get all of these unanswered questions figured out. Who is my provider? What is the best loan option? There's still time to actually get in to some of the particular loans.
Especially, he says, because of the latest on-ramp from the Biden administration.
From now until September of 2024, if you miss payments, yes, you're going to accrue more interest, but you're not going to be headed towards any of the credit bureaus and getting dinged for your credit.
An option, Rosen says, is designed to help those struggling the most. And like Dr. Gilliard, he recommends asking questions before the balances become more of a burden.
Tens of millions of people get Social Security benefits and rely on them for the majority of their income in retirement. Unfortunately, there are some yearly changes that work in recipients' favor, but not all of them do. So here's what you need to know. First, the cost of living adjustment is 3.2% for 2024. This is determined by the Consumer Price Index. The typical retired worker can expect $59 more per month before deductions. A couple can expect $94. Next, some retirees will reach full retirement age later in 2024. Full retirement age for those born in 1957 is 66 and 6 months, reaching that within the first half of 2024. And if you were born in 1958, full retirement age is 66 and 8 months, which will happen for some in the second half of this year. Third, the Social Security maximum benefit for high-income earners is higher. Those claiming at the earliest age of 62 will have a max benefit of around $2,700, but those retiring at 70 will see a $4,800 max benefit. And finally, top earners will pay higher Social Security payroll taxes. This is how Social Security gets most of its revenue. Next year, taxes will be charged on earnings up to $168,600. That's $8,400 more than last year. Some good news if you're heading to the gas station this week. According to AAA, prices are still dropping here in Georgia. The new state average is $2.99 to start the new year. That's down 2 cents from the end of 2023. It's still up, though, from 20 cents from 1 month ago, but we're headed in the right direction. As we start a new year, we are helping you watch out for your money and plan ahead. And we spoke with a financial expert who suggests focusing on 5 things. Most importantly, set up an emergency savings fund. He recommends building it up to cover 6 to 9 months of living expenses. Second, prioritize saving. Ideally, put 15 to 20% of your take-home income into a savings account with a high interest rate. And his third financial resolution is to pay down debt.
Start with the credit cards that have the higher interest rates. Even if they're smaller amounts, because it'll get you to the point where you pay some down.
Fourth, cut back on unnecessary expenses. Also sit down and look at what you're spending and zero in on what you do not need. And number 5, he says you should make a will or update the one that you already have. The real estate market here in Metro Atlanta can often drive Georgia's economy. Last year, we saw more interest rate increases, but that could be changing this year. Real estate experts confirm the high rates are having an impact on the Atlanta housing market, and we can see that play out in the numbers. Data from Redfin indicates Atlanta saw home listings fall by more than 11% in 2023, making it among the top 10 cities in the country experiencing such drops. Brokers say interest rates have had wide-ranging impacts on the housing market in the last year, but they hope potential buyers will not be discouraged.
Even if you are interested in getting a home, don't let this deter you, because real estate is cyclical. So even though right now equity is a little less, the circle is going to come back around.
Redfin is also predicting home buyers will catch a break in 2024, with home prices expected to fall and the number of new listings to be on the rise. So if you're hoping to buy a home this year, what can you expect? Reporter Cole Higgins has some tips for those looking to buy.
After years of record prices, historically high mortgage rates, and massive market demand, some experts say sidelined first-time homebuyers could have more hope in 2024.
It's going to get cheaper going forward, but I'm not going to call it easy or less painful.
Economist Joe Brusuela says the Federal Reserve is poised to lower interest rates next year, which could make homes more affordable. According to the U.S. National Home Price Index released this week, house prices hit a new record high in October. That's when mortgage rates were above 7%, the highest levels in 23 years. That, plus historically low inventory, continued to push up home prices. So what can you do if you're looking to buy in 2024?
When you get back in the market, houses are going to come in. When there's a lot of demand, they're going to go fast. Somebody else is going to be ready to move. You want that person to be you.
Real estate investor David Green has these 4 tips. 1, improve your financial position to increase your chances of getting a better loan, like paying off debt, saving more money, and improving your credit. 2, step up your market research. Get realistic and consider what you can actually afford and what your priorities are.
You can change everything about a house except where it's located. So really prioritize the houses in the areas that work the best for you, not the houses that look the best.
3, once you get your loan approved, get your loan officer and your realtor working together. And finally, consider waiting until winter time. That's when home sales traditionally slow down, so there will be less competition. For Consumer Watch, I'm Cole Higgins.